Yeah, it was like, I had to run across the con. I'm like, I gotta get it. It's like, wait, what? Yeah. I bought like the last copy. I remember like, dude. I'm like, you know.
This is my display copy. I don't care.
It's nice to have a hook, but chances are your book's not going to be the next Walking Dead. Gateway Runners probably won't be the next Walking Dead.
Within.
It might be the next Tommy. I'll be happy.
Look, I have like 2 or 3 stories that I want to do, and I'm working on it, and I'm even pitching to other companies. And I know that what works, but I have one story that I know I'm probably gonna self-publish, and it's gonna do nothing. And it's called 5 Point Bro, and it's just about a Cuban guy in a Mustang, a 5.0 Mustang solving crimes in Hialeah. I know no one outside of Miami is buying that. Maybe but I'm going to do it anyway because I really want to do it. I'm doing it on the side.
This was how you
I buy it. I don't care where I live. And now we're to the point where we are taking questions. So if anyone has questions as we're yapping, please do so. If you have any questions, raise your hand and we will get them to you. If not, we're going to keep telling stories like this.
Yeah.
Oh.
I hear most people have another job that supports them, not necessarily writing. At any point, does a writer becomes stable enough by just writing that they can support themselves with just writing, or do they always have a first job?
Oh, it could absolutely happen.
Yeah.
You get to that point. You can get to the point where you're doing that and that's your job. It might take a while. And a lot of it is if your book hits. It could happen, it might never happen.
It's another reason why you'll see, if you look at the comics on the rack at the store, you'll see like 4 different books written by the same guy, because he's working on 4 different projects, and that's how he's able
It's funny how many there's actual named comic artists that I know that I've talked to, and it's really hard for them to make ends meet. They're doing a lot of titles, and they're doing stuff for DC, Marvel, everything. Sometimes it takes a while to get paid. Sometimes they haven't really broken through. Again, it's a very hard racket to get into. As far as writers, I have friends that are writers. I used to work for IGN years ago, and I had friends and they work for Wikia now. They work for Blizzard. They work for different. I remember my roommate. We grew up together. We ran off to San Francisco to work for IGN. He would work all day, come home, do strategy guides, and play video games. I remember playing the same stupid game till like 4 in the morning, and here I'm like doing the same puzzle. The reviewer had to put in a strategy guide and like write it, and that's one of the things he did for augmented income. And he had a good job that had, as a writer you're gonna be all over the place. It's the same thing as an artist. I'm an artist, a designer, an illustrator, whatever I need to be that week. So I can pay my bills and keep this going.
Yeah, you get that question, are you willing to work on? Yeah, I probably am. Are you willing to pay? Then yes, I'm probably willing.
Yeah, there was
There
was a spy short story a guy wanted to pitch, and he came to me and he's like, well, I can pay you about $150 per page. Okay.
I don't care what
I
it
don't
is.
do spy books. And when I saw the script, I'm like, oh, this is gonna suck. It's gonna be so hard to do, but I'm gonna do it because I need to pay the rent. So you're gonna be versatile.
And I guess for me, I guess mine's a little different, and I'll tell my side. Like, I don't work. This is my job, and I'm fortunate. It's just I happen to be fortunate not to work, where my other half has enough income so that I'm able to do this full time. And as far as our production, what we do is, we're able to pay out a cost for producing books. We're able to pay royalties to authors, and we're able to do the printing and pay artists to color the books for us, and then pay the authors and the artists their money on time and on a schedule.
It's a lot of middleman.
It's a lot of, the middleman. I'm also a writer, so I'm actually working on my book as well as, like he said, I'm the producer, I'm the publisher, I'm the editor-in-chief.
You have to wear many hats.
Yeah, it's whatever's required. Like if Bella, is working that day and she can't work with me, then okay, I'll do your job until you get there. Vivian is our salesperson. Until she gets there, I'll do the sales. So it's whatever is required of us for the company. We need to color something? Sure, I'll color the cover. And then I don't say that we color the cover, but we all are artists as well. So, I love coloring a cover. and then putting it out there and seeing how people, you know, appreciate it. Like, you know, we color the cover, but then when it comes to selling the book, I just like the fact that people pick it up and go, wow, this is great. And then when Bella produces the magazine and does the layout, and someone's like, oh my God, this is awesome. I'm like, yeah. You know, it's like our little silent thing, but we can't go, yeah, we just did all this work, oh my God. We had the Miami Book Fair, our first year, Miami Book Fair. I literally, Bella and I sat there in 2 weeks and produced 7 books for the book fair because there was a limit of books that you had to have in order to get a certain booth. And we weren't at that limit, and I'm like, we could do this.
Oh yeah,
So,
keep that in mind whenever
yeah.
you go to events and doing
There's a
cons.
limit.
Always do your
Yeah,
research.
you wanna do your research is what you need. Because when we did it, we were like, we're going to the book fair, we have enough money, we can get our booth. And then they're like, yeah, so we need a sample of all your books. Whoa, hold on, really? We can't just show up and sell
Can't just
stuff.
go there.
So we had to like produce these books, get them printed, send them the photo of the covers, which we did in like one night, and that was just us, you know. So like I said, fortunately it's different when you have the time and you have the resources to go out and print up enough magazines to bring to the book fair, or bring to our convention or whatever it is we're doing. And like they were saying, when they do a convention, it is $3,000 to go to a convention.
Yeah.
And you're
We
not
just did the
thinking,
Miami Book Fair last year.
yeah, you're not thinking like a booth is $700.
You
And that's
don't
just
stop there. There
basic.
is so much more
We have
that
to
is
eat.
involved. You
We
know?
have to eat there. There's electricity that we might need. You know, gas. We might have to have our stuff shipped there.
Might have to
If
buy
we
it
don't
now.
ship it, we have to, yeah, you have to
Hotels.
bring it yourself.
Hotels.
Hotels if you don't live in the area. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to consider.
The biggest
doing
cost
it.
I have for New York Comic Con is the hotel.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Biggest
Yeah, just
cost.
get it, just
Yeah.
get
If you
it
wanna
in.
stay in the island of Manhattan, and you do wanna
Yeah,
stay in the
you
island of
wanna stay
Manhattan,
there.
but we stayed in New Jersey. and it's-
Low end is like $200-$300.
Yeah, $200-$300.
Traffic alone, I couldn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just getting to your own convention.
Yeah.
They're not gonna park the seat for you and go, oh, he has to get there, guys, let him
No,
go.
no.
You're gonna be in traffic with everyone else. When we went to MegaCon in Orlando,
Oh my
we
God.
were there, like, we parked the car, we went back, parked, and just walked back.
Yeah,
It was just,
it's not even.
we
MegaCon?
were passing people.
MegaCon's a wonderful
Yeah.
show, but don't go on International Drive.
No.
Whatever you do, don't go on that road.
Don't do
That's
it.
Village Valley's Road.
Don't do it. It's a trap, don't do it.
One time I was coming out of there because I think last year they messed it up so bad. It was like, there was an NAACP tournament, there was a cheerleading thing, there was an Avon convention, all at the same time.
Do
So
your
we-
research, please,
Yeah.
when you go to these things, because you'll go to a convention and it's at a hotel, but there's like 5 other conventions.
Yeah, they
and
won't
you
tell
have
you
no
what's
idea where
going
you're
on around
going.
it. They won't tell you.
They
No,
won't tell you that.
I was stuck in a car. We went to get dinner. We're starving. You get out of con, you're exhausted, you're starving, you don't do anything. And I had a very prominent Marvel artist in our back seat. And we're trying to get there. He's like, dude, I'm so hungry. Man, when are we gonna get there? I'm like, I just turned around, like, dude, you saw the traffic, right? And after, my partner, my publisher was like, dude, you know we want him to do a cover for us. I'm like, I couldn't shut up, man. We're stuck in traffic. It just, you know, it's one of those things, yeah, you gotta plan it. You're in a city sometimes that you don't know, like, not, you know, now we know, but I remember being lost at, you know, Heroes Con, you know, we decided, we'll get a hotel by the airport, we'll just drive in, that'll be funny. Oh my God.
The best part, MegaCon, you're on International Drive, you can see the
Oh, yeah.
restaurant you want to
You
go to.
see it.
You get there a
It's
half
right
hour
there.
later because traffic is just stopped.
Yeah.
Then you get there and you're like, everyone's already there from the con, hour and a half late.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're just like, all right, there's a McDonald's right here.
Yeah,
McDonald's, so that, like,
yeah, you gotta get up early, you gotta eat, it's a lot of work.
But it's very
a
fun.
lot of work.
It's all worth it despite all this crap we're talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you wanna make a lot of networking connections at these conventions, it is very important. I will probably be talking with these guys again, even though they don't know me. Like, I'm friend them on Facebook, and I'm gonna be talking to them. So, you know, whether or not they like us, we don't care. Like, hey, dude, I'm gonna be talking to you. So you wanna make connections with people, and whether or not you agree with someone, whatever their opinion is, you know, you never know what you can like learn or what they can teach you that you don't know. You know, we happen, not like we're buddies or anything, but we happen to work at the Renaissance Festival, okay? And so we're at the Renaissance Festival, and I happen to see a guy, and I go, I swear to God, that's George Perez. No one else there is a geek like I am, comic book. So
That's
I'm like, that's George
George
Perez.
Perez.
I'm telling everyone, there's like, who's George Perez? I'm like, you're an idiot.
I was
So,
like,
I
stop.
tracked him
I was like,
down.
don't talk to me.
Yeah, I
You don't
tracked him
know.
down. I
You
go,
don't
I
know.
swear to God, George Perez is here. I saw him. I swear to God, I saw him. He's like, yeah, okay, whatever. So he sees him. He starts bawling like a little baby.
Which we got
And like-
into.
and then, yeah.
Well, I was
Yeah,
Come on.
so George Perez is like fanboying at the Renaissance Festival because it's like a role reversal.
Did you say hi to him?
Oh,
I hugged the crap out of the guy.
Right.
He's
Very good.
George Perez, so you know, is like one of the biggest comic book
It's
artists
just like
ever.
Stanley, George Perez.
So-
King
He lives in
Arthur,
Sanford,
Dude,
Florida.
Yeah, he's
The nicest guy in the world.
nicest guy. So
If you
we
can meet
go-
George,
we
you
go
meet
to
George.
MegaCon.
Hey, what's up? How you
Yeah.
doing?
He wrote his
Your guest. Hey, what's up?
He wrote his book. He wrote his book, and it happened to be finished by the time MegaCon came up. So we went, saw George Perez at MegaCon. I'm like, go give him the book. Just give him a copy.
Take it, please.
So he goes over to George Perez and he's like, we're in line, we got a number, we came back, whatever. So he's like, I just want to give you a copy of the book. Here you go. So he's like, okay. And so he asked him to sign the book. I don't know why. He didn't do it. So George Perez signs his book, okay? And then he goes, well, you know, you need to sign one for
I
me.
got it.
So George Perez asked for his autograph, and everyone in line is like, who is that guy? Who is he? And so me and his dad are standing there, and I'm like, what? George Perez is like, he brings him back behind his table, he's hugging him, and he's like all chummy, and he's over there like moments,
Dude, I
and everyone is like, who's the guy? And we're like sitting there, and so,
Edward, I
yeah.
looked at your face.
Dude, I promise. Like,
So you never know who you will meet, and what circumstances you'll meet them in,
I couldn't stop.
and how it'll come back around, because at the convention, everyone was wondering who he was, and we were like walking behind him like we were his slaves.
Like, I got
And he was like,
I'm
who's
here,
this?
guys.
Yeah.
And if you get an opportunity like that, you get an opportunity to meet George
Oh,
in a
yeah.
weird place, and it's not rude to do so,
No.
get a picture.
Yeah,
Get
get a picture.
Hug the
I have a
crap
picture
out
from
of him.
Magic City Comic Con of Dan Slott, who writes Spider-Man, with my book in his hand.
Yeah.
It's so
And I
cool.
love it.
Do
I
that.
have a picture, I have it on my wall.
Yeah.
You absolutely
Oh,
have
and
to.
then-
As I sleep,
Yeah.
I look at it.
If he
better.
said,
You better.
no, if he said
But
to
it's
him
great
like,
publicity
hey,
on your Facebook
your
page.
book is wonderful. I love the concept. Tagline on the book.
Yeah.
You know, so and so said, put it on your book.
But don't try to orchestrate that kind of thing, because
Yeah, yeah, you
they'll
don't
see it
want
and
to
it'll look
orchestrate
really
it.
bad.
They hate that.
But,
you can also email them and tell them, hey, I met you at so and so. You said this about my book.
Is that
I'm
okay?
sending you a copy. I just want to know if I can use that, you know, and ask. And most of the time
Yeah,
they'll
be
say
nice,
yes.
'cause-
Yeah.
Because
More
they're
than-
nice. They're nice people.
No, like you guys
Yeah.
were saying, they're people too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they started off the same way.
I
They're kids who
was at
wanna do
a
it,
convention
you know?
in Knoxville, and it sucked. It was really bad. And he was there as a guest, and he was bored, and we were bored. He comes over, we start talking. We're like trading recipes and stuff.
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
like, yeah, it's like that's good banana nut bread, George Perez. You know, like, damn.
George Perez.
George Perez gave me banana nut
I
bread.
can't even say the Justin.
Yeah,
Lin.
here,
It has
I
to be
had a
first and last.
conversation,
First and last
Well,
name.
hold on,
Yeah,
so we're starting to run out of time though, so are there any
Oh, yeah.
more?
Oh,
Oh yeah, questions, more questions, guys? We have about 5 minutes.
I'm sorry.
I was just wondering, like, in general, what was your inspirations? I know he said Uncanny X-Men, you said Spider-Man. I was just wondering, in general, what you...
I'm a huge Amazing Spider-Man fan, and I tend to follow writers more so than I follow particular books. But writers I love, Peter David.
He's my favorite writer.
He's amazing. He does great character stuff. Paul Jenkins. Paul Jenkins, a lot of you may not have heard of him. He did a run on Spider-Man, Peter Parker's Spider-Man, about 10 years ago. The best Spider-Man I've ever read. Him and Peter David, Paul Jenkins, Dan Slott. Those are the best Spider-Man writers, in my opinion, right next to Stan Lee. I love that stuff. Avengers, Roy Thomas. Roy Thomas, who did a lot of the books after Stan kind of laid off a little bit, is probably my absolute favorite writer for comics.